let me tell you one thing that I'm very passionate about the organization, right? We set as one of our core mission goals is to promote success that happens in Macedonia. And today, I'm very delighted to have like 4 panel participants that were on the list of Forbes 30 under 30. So what that means is that those 2 beautiful ladies and 2 guys here, right, create like immense success here in Macedonia. And I understand that a lot of you that live here, like are faced with a lot of challenges and stories and unemployment in youth and so forth, right? And celebrating many, like very often like a wrong role models in the society, right? So one of the goals, core goals of our organization is to promote success of the young people that happens in Macedonia. So I'm very delighted that our participants today accepted the panel participation. And like what I want to get out of this panel is basically try to get what's their operating system of success. They create like immense success. Probably some of those participants or all of them are brand names here in Skopje. Many of you know them. They create like immense success in their careers, even they're very young. And what I want to see is if there's like a common thread of being a successful leader, right? So with that, I'll start with my first question, right? What's the most effective, like when you're looking at your team members, right? What's the most important thing that you think it's important for their job? Yeah?
Ladies.
Okay, ladies first. Okay, so this was the first question, right, when we were speaking. So I think that people go to work because, first of all, to me, it gives me purpose of life, right? So it challenges me, develops me, trains me, it motivates me to be better. So I would say that people go to work, or the idea why the people work is because it gives them purpose in life. So for me, that's the thing, yeah.
Cool. Nina?
I think that this is the most difficult question, especially to answer nowadays. On one hand, we have the new generations who are getting bored very quickly, who have, let's say, high expectations. Like, for instance, I want a good salary, I want a good boss, I want a good leader, I want good colleagues, I want beanbags in my office, I want free coffee, I want food, I want to be able to train during work, and you have the flexible hours. And when you take 10 different people in a team, 20, 50, they all have different things that motivate them. And if we ask 50 people will give maybe different answers in what's the most important thing for them. So I think that it's difficult to answer what's the one most important thing, because as I said, it's all about weighting and measuring. If you have a good salary, and at the end of the day, I don't think that we will ever be satisfied with whatever we have. Everything is based on expectations, and it's the disconfirmation theory that says how satisfied or happy you are is defined by what you expect before going into something. So I don't have any strict answer. If it's the good leader, if it's the good colleagues, if it's good working atmosphere, I think it's a mix of definitely lots of things.
But if you had to pick one?
I would say people don't live companies, people live people.
Okay.
So I would say the good leadership and the good leader.
Thank you.
If I'm saying half jokingly, I would answer that people want a superior over here, because there is tremendous lack of accountability that I'm noticing. So they want somebody to point a finger and say, but they told me to do that, But that's half jokingly. If I'm being like truly honest, I would say probably people want to be paid what they think brings good value to their efforts. And that's probably the most important thing. But not going off topic or anything, I don't want to be misunderstood, but good salaries do not go hand in hand with uncertainty that we're seeing for the last forever around here. I mean, we have to have business wants stability, business wants not being afraid of the state, not viewing the government as an adversary, not having evergreen phrases like wait until they come to power, and stuff like that. So we need to work on those issues because it's a full circle, and we need to work on those issues because we need to keep this prosperous men and women not going abroad, because what I'm being afraid of is that I'm seeing ever increasing number of people not leaving from the lower paying or people with lower salaries just going to make a living, but I see more and more people just from the middle to higher income level demo going to have a more prosperous life or more fulfilling life. And it's a full circle. We need to work on everything so people can have good salaries, because they want good salaries.
Okay, cool. 3 different answers so far. I hope you pay attention. All right?
I think mine will be 4 different, yeah.
Great.
So in my opinion, people need to be happy, and they need to like what they're doing. When I'm choosing the members of my team, I look for the people that have that their lifestyle is similar and in line with the task and the job they will be doing. Coming from the media business, I often used to tell potential and current team members that even though your work time is from 8 until 4 p.m., things don't stop happening after you leave your job, you know. In the media business, everything happens 24/7. So you need in your lifestyle, So in your lifestyle should be in line with that, and it need to be your lifestyle following things that are happening around, and then use that in your job. So if you like what you're doing, if it's in line with your lifestyle, you will not feel hard, or even you will not feel the burden of the work. You know, it will be easier, and you will like and you will enjoy what you're doing. But if you just take the job for the salary, then it's most likely that minutes will seem like hours, and after the working day is over, you will feel exhausted and demotivated. If you like what you're doing and enjoy what you're doing, then after the day will go just like that, and you will feel even more motivated and accomplished at the end of the day. And I just want to add, salary is important, yes, but in my opinion, salary is not the one and main thing why people leave companies. Even if they have good salaries and they're not happy about it, it's most likely they will leave and try another thing.
Okay, thank you, Igor.
Yeah.
So let's move to the second question, right? So let's move to the horizontals of managing your like partners and peers and the folks that you collaborate with. What do you think is the most important thing to influence your partners? Or to influence people, right, that don't depend on you in the managerial chain.
People working for you, for example.
So we can start the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
You thought that you're gonna get a break.
I try to accomplish this by being an example.
Okay.
So I try to work as hard as I can. I try to be as persistent as I can. I try to be as detail-oriented as I can, and I hope that my other team members will see that, and they will take it as an example, and they will follow. You know. So of course this is not always true, but that's how at the end of the day you select who is a good team member and should be part of the team and who shouldn't. But the most important is to work as hard as you can, and to other team members will see that, and they will most of the time follow you and do the best they can, just like you.
What about the partners, your peers, the others that you collaborate? How do you influence them? When you negotiate,
My clients, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I influence them by also doing the best I can, you know, and for example, by replying to clients, by replying to customer orders. I have a reputation that they often use this sentence when I write you an email. I feel like we are chatting on some instant messenger platform, because I get a reply instantly. You know, it's just like we are communicating on Messenger or Viber, not on email. So
you show a lot of appreciation.
Yeah.
And respect. Okay, cool. Žarko?
Well, you know, I think that it's really important, like probably one of the key aspects to being a good manager, an effective leader or whatnot, to do a proper assessment of your people. Because not everyone can follow you in your footsteps or whatever, or not everyone can catch the bar that you've raised, maybe for them in particular, too high. And that is why you have to make really good quality assessment of the people you have in your team and have them at the right place. Because when people are in the right place, they're motivated by themselves because they like what they're doing. And if you don't like, to be honest, I'm baffled by the sheer number of people that I see who not only don't like what they're doing, they resent what they're doing. And still they are going to work every day, which is really, really mind-boggling. So I think that a key aspect of being a good leader is for you as a leader of the team to find each and every one spot where they will be happy with what they're doing, and then you will have no problem motivating them.
Okay. What about your partners, your peers?
Well, for example, I'm a managing partner with my brother, and what's keeping us for 10 years almost now together is that we really contemplate each other, meaning we're really yin and yang.
Okay.
Really different, but yet again really the same in the goals.
Okay.
So we're perhaps different in the approaches that we want to take to get to there, but we know that, okay, that's our goal. Now let's see what we can do.
So 1 + 1 is 6 for you in that
Even
relationship.
neither.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, Nina.
I think that those answers were more political answers than mine will be. I'll try to get to the point
And you're a politician.
of the and actually now it's how your question was effectively. What's the most important thing in order to effectively influence people, right?
Yes. Yes.
You know the new term growth hacking. There is a very interesting book that is called "Brain Hacking Your Employees for Their Own Good."
Okay.
And actually it says about particular techniques on positive motivation and positive influence, of course. I think that it's the most important thing is to being able to be a good listener, but to be able to listen what hasn't been said, to be able to see what hasn't been precisely visibly for everybody done. Because that way you will see what's the hidden triggers that certain people are influenced by certain actions. And I think that is very important to have setting the example, as they mentioned, to be part of a role model mood. If you want to leading by example, basically. If you want other people to be influenced, I think that you should set the example by your own actions. And regarding the peers, how do you influence peers? In my company, we were 3 co-founders, and it was always when decisions was supposed to be made, it was always voting. Okay. And I was always the one lobbying to one of the partners, and I used only facts and data about how to effectively try to see the bigger picture, see the vision, where we're headed, why this decision particularly might have some short-term gains, but in the long run it's maybe hindering our goal and vision. And I think that it's all about being good in negotiating, and it's the whole package, I think.
So what did you optimize for, winning 2-1 or 3-0? Because you have...
It was most of the time 2 versus 1.
Versus 1,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why I mentioned that good negotiation and lobbying skills are very important.
All right, cool. So basically what you're optimizing here is efficiency instead of consensus.
Yes, after a certain
Speed
period...
instead of consensus.
After a certain period of time, it was 3-0, but some people took some time, to see the... Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And what's it
Ariana?
like in the government? That's what I want to know.
I'm enjoying this panel. It's a refreshing atmosphere.
Yes. Žarko promised that he's going to blow up the panel anyhow. So, that's inevitable. It was inevitable, right? We took that risk, right? So, cool. Thank you, Ariana.
So coming from a corporate experience, US corporate experience, I would agree because our main motto was lead by example and follow up. So this is the typical Royal Caribbean standard. But in order for the peers, as now I have partners in Albania and in Kosovo who are different nationality, different culture, different backgrounds. So I think that the most important way is communication, and is the way how you transfer the message and what is the end goal. You need to show people your vision and also dedication, because if you want these people to be influenced and to follow the same vision, they need to see that you work hard. And then if we all do the same thing, that we're going to reach this and this goal. So I would say lead by example and follow up, and definitely communication is the most important key in order to achieve this.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I pretty much summarized.
No, this is great. This is great. So now we'll move to the next question, right? So we discussed basically, managing your team, right? Managing horizontally your peers, right? But if we go into the overall, holy grail of the leadership, right? If you think if you have to pick one thing, right, that you think is the most important thing to be an effective leader, what is that? Now we can start with you.
Okay, so I was thinking, because you said one thing and I had multiple things, but at the end, when you think more in depth, I would say choose a good team, because and in a business, and I'm sure everybody knows here that has a business, you cannot succeed alone, and you need a good team. You need a good team so that I can be here in a conference and my business is running. You need people that you trust. You need people that share your vision. You need people that want to grow with you. You need people that want to see their future in your company as part of your company. As what we see now in the new economy, and we all talk about millennial generations, we're talking about people that, you need to offer them something more than salary, and that would be possibility that if they prove themselves, tomorrow they can be a partner in the company, so this company has a vision for them. This is a place where it's not only mine, but can be yours as well. So I would say choose a good team and nurture it, and definitely show them opportunities to grow in order for you and your company to be successful.
Okay, so let me try to tease the one.
Choose a good team.
Yes. So choose a good team. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you, Nina.
What's the most important thing for being a good leader? I think it's your questions are very tackling a very complex thing with asking to answer with one thing. So I will try again to go a bit broader.
But for a full disclosure, I shared them 7 days before the panel.
Yeah, that's right. But it's difficult to choose one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that it's very important to have organizational skills, to have good listening skills, and if I have to choose one, I would say the best leadership strategy is just care. Care about the people, care about what they feel. And at the end of the day, I think that being able to get the most out of people, the potential, sometimes requires for us to be a bit strict, for us to do some actions that for the short time, you know how our parents say, it's in Macedonian, I'm sure you know it, "Ova je za tvoje dobro."
Okay.
This is for your own good, you will realize after a certain period of time. So I think it's definitely being able to care, being able to have emotional intelligence to be a good leader, being able to set the bar high, and a good leader is one who have the wind at their back and who is creating leaders. It's now the leader to leader instead of leader to follower relationship that's very important. So a good leader is able to grow other leaders, and he's satisfied by seeing how other people grow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I
Amazing.
agree with that. You really have to be, first of all, a person, and then a superior or whatever, or a chief of the team and whatnot. And I would also like to add probably like one thing in my experience of being in the agency and previously on an executive position in A1 television, which was really wonderful, and I was really a young character. I didn't know too much then, so I learned from my experience in A1 television later, if you can imagine that, yeah. But if it's one thing, it's being able to get in the mud together with the team, again and again and again and again, and learn your team, being patient with them again and again and again, and then some more, without showing any frustration or weakness.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Igor?
Definitely by being a good example.
Okay.
Definitely. So if you work hard enough and they see you, what you're doing and how hard you're trying, it will inspire them and they will follow. If you don't care, if you are rarely in the office, and when you're in the office, if you don't do hard work, they will say, if he doesn't care, why should I? You know, and that's the recipe that will blow up your company, and you will fail. But if you work hard enough and be a good example, you will inspire them, and they will follow.
Okay. So by the way, you know, like here we have like a 4 hits. Google did like amazing analysis of what are the most important skills for being an effective leader. So folks here hit like 4 out of 7. So that's like mentoring and growing your own people, right? Then, caring for your own people. Then rolling up your sleeves, right? And basically getting into the details, right? So basically, it's amazing how a random, like selection of people that it really demonstrates the success that those young people made.
As Simon Sinek says, he says that a good leader is someone who people voluntarily want to follow.
Yes.
And a manager maybe is someone who you have to follow.
Exactly. All right, cool. So we're moving to the harder set of questions. And they're maybe a little bit more personal, right? So we'll see what will come up. What's the most important thing for being productive as an individual and as a businessman?
Should I start?
Go for it.
Yeah. So to be productive, for me, I have this method. I make 2 lists. One list is category of activities and things that make money, and the other list is activities that spend money.
Give me that list.
Yeah. So but from the daily or weekly or monthly activities. So I firstly focus on the things that make money. So this could be contacting clients, communicating with clients, communicating with potential clients, making offers, invoicing clients, and so on. So I always try and focus to first complete these tasks, and then if there is enough time to go on with things that spend money. So things that spend money would be everything related to the office and around running the office, running the people. Of course, this is not always 100% achievable. There are always some emergency activities and tasks that you need to complete ahead of this that will spend money. But this is the basic rule that I try to follow on my daily work.
Okay, cool, great.
I look at it from another perspective.
Okay.
To be honest, like most effective, most productive, right?
Most
productive. To be most productive, you have to devote time for yourself outside of the business.
Okay.
For sure.
Great.
Because you can really easily get bogged down in the 24-hour cycle of not having enough time for anything. Okay. Really, really easily.
Great.
I mean, honestly, like I managed my company with my brother, and we were working in the past when we were just 3 people for 10 hours a day, every day. Now we're at a point where we're one of the biggest independent shops in the country, and we have to work 11 hours a day.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
And it's really easily to get bogged down in the I have no time for anything. So for me personally, I'm most productive when I just set aside 2 or 3 hours of the day and just meditate.
Decompress.
And do nothing.
Okay. Great. Nina?
I would say productivity is about creating value, adding value, which is not always related to making money, but it's about adding value, and money are a result, not maybe a key motivator. And I would say that productivity is never an accident. It's a result of commitment, of excellence, of good organization, of self-discipline, of being able to do sacrifices on a daily basis. And I think it's a rare thing to, when I speak now from the position as a member of the government, I think that one thing that our country is struggling is to increase productivity, actually. Okay. And that's why we are constantly speaking about investing in human capital. And I think that it's all about how we are raised, how we are grown, what we invest in ourselves on a daily basis, how able we are to use our potential. And at the end of the day, it all transfers in how productive we are on our jobs, maybe, but also in our lives, for our society, and how much we are contributing to the growth of our country as a whole. Okay. So I think that I would say definitely is a result, it's never an accident, but it's a result of dedication, focus, self-discipline, time management.
Time management.
And
okay.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Great. Ariana?
Yeah, I think that first we have to define productivity here because we have different opinions. So what is actually productivity? Are we looking at it from a business perspective? Is it a rate of output per unit of input? So, and also when we talk about the business, I mean, it's not the same. We cannot measure it on the same way at the startup of the business and now 2-3 years after or later on, you know, when you have a corporation. So different stages of the business ask for different measurements of productivity. And of course, the personal productivity strongly influences the workspace productivity. So I think that first we have to define that in order to be able to give the best answer. But if we look at from this stage, from my...
So you have a freedom to take your own definition.
Okay, so I was thinking of more, and again, it's connected to leading by example and choosing a good team. So it would be a right way of be able to delegate. If you are able to do good delegation practices, you know, then you would be able to do good organization, and the company, you know, would be generating revenue. Because if we talk it from business perspective, I assume that the end input is the revenue. So I would say being able to influence good delegation and to enforce good delegation.
Cool, great.
Can I just say something? It feels really weird talking about yourself and giving out business lessons when Big Z is sitting over here.
Oh, Big Z, that's
I'm embarrassed, man.
That's a major compliment. Yes. He'll have his show after the session, so don't worry. Cool, so let's go to the next question. You know, like, how do you guys define intelligence, right? So, Žarko, we can start with you.
Yeah, sure. In my experience working with hundreds of clients, I've noticed this. I mean, when I ask myself, who of them all, is intelligent, it was always the persons who have chosen their battle smart.
Okay.
So probably that.
Okay, cool. Thanks, great. Nina? Let's randomize a little bit.
Yeah, I think one way is to look at the IQ, the intelligence, which we know is how you apply the acquired knowledge and skills. But it's, I think, again, we are speaking about there is, maybe I will go with the term, there is fluid and crystal intelligence.
Okay.
So the crystal intelligence is the one that we acquired through reading, learning, skills we are getting, and that's the one that is measured actually by the IQ. Then the other thing is the crystal intelligence that I think is very, very important, and that's why I'm combining two, because the crystal intelligence is actually what we are, it's our logic, it's our intuitive intelligence on perceiving and doing things, and it's the one that, for instance, crystal intelligence is developed by playing games. You are being able to use certain logic and then apply it in different disciplines in different areas, and that's the logical thinking. So I think it's a mix. It's very important that we take the broader picture of intelligence, not only the IQ but the emotional intelligence, and both. So I would say it's again a mix of how much you know, how fast learner you are.
Okay.
And how able you are to apply the knowledge in different situations.
Okay, great, great, cool.
Yeah, and choosing to better slide. Yeah.
All right, Ariana?
So I would say that for me is the ability to acquire and to apply the skills and knowledge, and I would like to connect this, because not to be just like definitions or opinions, but most of us here, as you mentioned, so we are here because we were on the Forbes list. So I just wanted to mention something. The skills that I gained through my work experience in Royal Caribbean, the knowledge that I gained through my MBA, everything that actually, that's everything that I have applied to create Creative Hub in Macedonia that actually bring me to Forbes. So it's the intelligence that I have used, that I have acquired and applied in order to help me to get to a successful business model.
Okay, but let's say you have like a person that you collaborate, right? A person that you're meeting, right? So how do you make the call if that person is intelligent or not?
How to make a call if a person is intelligent or not? By communication, I will say.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
By communication.
All right. Let's hear what Igor.
Yeah, I would define intelligence as being self-aware as much as possible. Mostly being self-aware about the things you know, and even more importantly about things you don't know. So by being this kind self-aware, you will be able to identify the weaknesses in you, and you will be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses in your other team members. So by doing this, you will be able to create a complementary team that will put their gain and their knowledge and to be successful together.
Okay, cool, great. So let's move to the next question, right? All four of you are immensely successful. I understand that you deal with a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. You create significant success. So Žarko already answered on this question, but what's your best method on how to handle stress? And by the way, I really like Žarko's answer, and I'm really amazed by having time to dedicate 3 hours per day or per week to meditate. But I can reveal Big Z's secret. He takes like 7 days to meditate. No. Do a meditation camp. Let me rephrase that. Okay? Cool, Ariana? Your best method how to handle stress?
I would say, first of all, learn how to control your mindset, because we get stressed when things don't work the way we want to work. So I would actually, Nina mentioned already, emotional intelligence. So a few years ago I started working on how to develop my emotional intelligence, and so far it has helped me when things don't go the way I want, or when I get stressed, how to control it and to accept that sometimes, the only way I can help myself is by changing my mindset. So I don't want to give like an answer, go to a vacation or, do a sports, but I think the most what we can help is we can help ourselves with the way of how we think, and it's the mindset.
But what do you do? I mean, like the deal is going down, things are going bad. What's your first reaction? How are you going to calm yourself?
I sit and I see all the possible ways how we can get where we want to be. So, yes.
Cool. All right. You want to answer again?
Yeah, it takes what you're saying. I mean, I got to that idea through hardships and through not very pretty things. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't something that I wish I knew this long before, because I wouldn't have suffered in many ways, and my private life wouldn't have suffered in really stupid ways, bad ways. So you really should learn as soon as possible that there's always tomorrow, and not everything has to be settled and be done exactly at the moment.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's 2 answers for you. We have to make you pick.
Check.
Okay. Cool. Nina?
I think the word best method and stress don't go together. Best and I would be very simple. I'd say running is the best thing to get off stress for me, or doing any other sort of cardio exercise. But I think that in time the threshold for handling stress is constantly increasing. We are living in the fastest world than ever. We have so much data, so much contacts. I'm sure I have 120 messages right now while speaking at this panel. And these all situations are creating certain, let's say, not rush, but on a daily basis, a certain dose of stress for every one of us. And as time goes, we learn to handle and cope with all these different things that yesterday this was maybe a stressful situation, but tomorrow it's all a different thing, and we say, oh, that's fine. So I think it's maybe more important the perception of stress and the capacity of the dose of stress we can handle by not being so stressed.
Okay.
But a simple answer would be for me running and sports, definitely.
Okay. Running, meditation, cool.
Yeah.
What else, Igor?
I have one small, medium-sized document that it's called Things You Should Be Reminded of When You're Feeling Stressed, Down, and Demotivated. In this document, I mostly open and fill it up with everything that felt good in some certain moment. From small things, small winnings, small happy situations, like, for example, some reader writing us an email telling us how much he loves reading the site every day, to big winnings like winning some big client or winning some big deal. So from time to time I fill up this document, and every time I get in a situation where I feel stressed, demotivated, that everything is going down and I don't know how we're gonna get over this situation, I open this document to remind myself that I have so many good moments doing this, and I should not
Žarko is.
yeah,
Yes,
and this
yes,
should be
not
used
paying
to motivate me again and to get me back on track that I will overcome this as well.
Okay, but from your document, right? What's number one? You have a list, right?
Yeah, it's the list is not in some ordering list
we put you
by
on the
importance,
spot now.
but yeah.
We put you on the spot now to order and pick one.
To pick one, I remember the time the first time the biggest client, Macedonski Telekom, called us and decided to put an advertisement on our website, and it was like we were celebrating and jumping in the office, like, yay, we won the biggest client in the country. And the next week, VIP called us, the other biggest telecom provider in Macedonia. What's going on? We are going to this business looks like is going to work, and we will start making money. So, yeah, this is the one biggest moment that I remember.
So you remind yourself of the success that you had in the past, and that calms you down. Okay, cool. That's great. So let's go to the last question, and then we'll give some time to the audience. How do you guys define happiness? Let's go.
Me personally, it's knowing that there's no such thing as being unequivocally happy.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of a glass half empty kind of guy.
Okay.
And that's not bad per se. I mean, there's always something to be done for it to be better, more efficient, more effective and anything. And even when we were on the plane back from the under 30 ceremony with Nina, and she knows this, of course, I told her, like, don't expect people to applaud now or congratulate you. And she was like, what? Everybody will congratulate us. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, no, people are not that. And I admire that positive thinking and tenacity with Nina. It's all, I mean, sometimes it's really good thing to have, but in the general aspect of things, I'm more of a, like, there's no such thing as being 100% happy.
All right. So let me try to boil down to see if I got this. So basically, are you heading towards, I'm having my expectations of looking at the glass as a half empty or a half full?
Like, nothing's ever done in a way that satisfies me.
Okay.
Which is bad, but it is what it is. Awful. No.
Cool. Ariana?
So I would say be satisfied with yourself and accept yourself and work to be a better version, because I think first we're all individuals, like our happiness has to again depend on our mindset, and we cannot influence other people to do what we want so that we are happy. So I think it's an important lesson, but I think that it's just be satisfied where you are right now, and as Žarko said, there is another day tomorrow and tomorrow, so work to be better version and just accept life easy, take it easy. So take it easy, yeah.
You should always make sure that you like what you're doing, and because most of the day, like most often 10 hours a day, you will spend working. If you like what you're doing, you will be happy. If you don't, no matter how much money you make doing it, you will never be happy.
Okay, cool. Nina?
I think expectations again define happiness. For instance, I think that there is a certain dose of temporary happiness, like you want to get promoted or you want this thing to happen, and it happens and you're for the moment like happy, yeah, you have the dopamine, yeah, and then after 2-3 days it vanishes and now I'm not happy and now I have to achieve the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And for me, I would say that happiness comes from solving problems. Wherever we go, there will be a load of problems waiting for us. The point is to find the problems we want to solve in our lives. And each problem solved is a new dose of dopamine, a new dose of happiness. So if I'm solving problems on a daily basis that I love solving, that I enjoy solving, I think that that's what makes us happy, because that's how you keep this constant of, yeah, I solved this puzzle, and or the next thing that there will be. And yeah, definitely I have high expectations from myself, high expectations from the people, which makes me enjoy a little less that dose of happiness, because I think that everything that I do can be done better, and I'm almost never fully satisfied from whatever I did or whatever the result was. But I think that that's good, because that drives us to be better, and I'm always trying to see the good in people, and I think that that's what Žarko was referring to, because I think that we all have some good and bad characteristics, and I think this is not a quote. Like, I'm really trying to see deep and to see the good in everyone.
Okay, cool. So you have to explain your face.
I just want to state that I'm not viewing only the bad in the people.
Okay, all right.
Let that be clear.
Okay.
I hope this enthusiasm, I will keep this enthusiasm in the next, after 3 months now in this new position. I hope that I have this enthusiasm, and that I will be able to say the same after a year.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So we're really right on time. So we should give a couple of minutes to the audience.
We have 2 quick questions. We have one right here, and then the next hand that goes up. So 1 here and 2 there, and we'll wrap up this panel. Go ahead.
Meto Koloski, United Macedonian Diaspora from Washington, D.C. It's good to see the Macedonian Jimmy Kimmel on stage. My question has to deal with education versus practical experience, and what all 4 of you are doing. And all 4 don't have to answer, but if anybody wants to take this question, what are you doing to pass your knowledge, your know-how on to the next generation? I guess, do you have an internship program within your institution? I know there's a lot of young people here that I'm sure would love to learn from you and expand their know-how. So I guess an internship program, do you have that at your companies or in institutions? Are you mentoring anybody specifically?
So let's take this, who's most passionate to answer? Or who first gonna start answering?
I can.
You can? Okay, Sol.
Kimmel can.
Sol.
Okay, yeah, thank you for the question, and thank you for being an amazing crowd here, and thank you to the Big Z. Big Z, yeah. I have been mentoring young people and young entrepreneurs. That's one way, and the other thing is for the internship programs. We've had it for 8 years in the company that I was heading. And I think that was the best way, not only to transfer knowledge, but to employ people, because now with the new set of skills, and we know that the education and the university official programs cannot follow the demanding new skills and the new jobs. So I think that most of the people that we have employed were through the internship programs. And now we're even discussing within the Ministry of Finance to also have an internship program and have students right away, either for internship or right away when they graduate. So that they can gain these new skills, and then hopefully we keep some of them in the Ministry of Finance, and if not, then they are more prepared for the market as well. I think that internships are very, very important, and I think that mentoring is also not only a good thing for the mentee, but also for the mentor, because we are also learning something new on the way, and we are becoming better as well on the way.
Okay. Žarko feels passionate.
Yeah, I want to just say this thing. Proper internships are great, but I mean, I'm talking about myself in our company. It's wishful thinking to have a proper internship where you learn from the best in the company. I mean, to be honest, you're in a state of, again, I'm talking, wait for the first question, what I answered was, we're in an uncertainty all of the time. And that's especially in the private sector, in marketing agency sector, that's especially viewable when you grow to a certain level of being able to, being an employer of more than 20 people, you're in a survival mode. Because you've grown so big that you really have to, you're really hungry for huge clients just to keep this thing up. And you literally have no time to teach somebody from scratch. And of course you can have internships, but I'm against having internships just to check the box of I'm having internships and whatnot, and they're just sitting in the corner doing nothing. No, a real internship should be this. But sadly, when you're in a survival mode all of the time, you have no time for that because you're surviving, you know?
I would just like to add something, if I can, because I have 3 business partners. So my brother is 23, my partner in Kosovo is 19, and I have one more in Albania who is 27. So I transfer them my knowledge. I just want to say, so by giving opportunity, giving chances, not maybe what Jarko said about internship, until somewhere agree, but I think that the best thing that what you can give young people is a chance, an opportunity to be part of your company and to learn from you, because obviously you're the one that has the most of the experience and the knowledge. So I think that not only internship can be a solution, but maybe giving also chances to people to be potential partners, equal to you, to learn from you, and then later on you'll be able to delegate and again get good reward for your company.
Okay, great.
I'd like to share a success story with internship. One of my team members that started with internship in our company, then proceeded with a part-time job, then a full-time job, and recently was promoted to editor-in-chief. So I have a very positive experience with internship, and we constantly give these opportunities to new people, new students who want to learn and who want to work. Yeah.
Okay, great. Kirk, one more question? Or?
One more quick question. Yep, right back there.
Okay, Zoran Jovanovski. I told Jarko Dimitrievski yesterday I will have a question for him. I bet he didn't believe that.
I would have been disappointed if this hadn't happened.
I believe that not many people really understand how serious business it is to make jokes in the show business. I read something about Jerry Seinfeld and his way of producing jokes on a daily basis. The big calendar there. My question is, you received a recognition from Forbes. It comes from a very distinctive place. It's a personal question. How did it affect you down there somewhere? It must have leave some kind of mark about a personal value, about the perception of how you proceed later on with your business. So what was your the experience from the inside? How was your experience about that?
Yeah, I will be really short. Like, first of all, one, of course, it's a great honor. Second, it really doesn't change anything. And third, I will be really honest when I say I don't know why is that. Perhaps I love my country or I don't know what. But it was I was 100 times more satisfied when I got the award for Entrepreneur of the Year in Macedonia by the Chambers of Commerce and the Development Foundation for Entrepreneurs. So, I mean, you obviously are really happy, you enjoy the moment, but again, like everybody said, if you really don't get in the mud together with your team and work, you can never get results out of that. And in a sense, it doesn't even matter if you've received the award or not, because if you really put your effort and time in, you will succeed anyway, you know?
Thank you so much. How about a big round of applause for our panelists? Thank you guys so much.